Usher and Chris Brown, I never thought I'd see this.
I seen somebody's wife getting tongued in the mouth.
Oh, man, you Chris Brown. If he point towards you, you shake your head no.
I ain't going.
You say you not going, but she goes with her girlfriend. And all of a sudden, he slip and put a little tongue in her mouth.
Ow!
So now what?
I ain't going, but if that happen, I'm coming.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life.
We would like to thank Low Key for hosting us today with this episode of Club Shay Shay. If you're in the Atlanta, West Midtown area, you have to come experience the city's hottest restaurant. Low Key, they're serving up the best Asian fusion in the A. Now, let's get to today's episode. Hello, welcome to another episode of Club Shay Shay. I am your host, Shannon Sharp. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay Shay. Stopping by for conversation and a drink today is one of the most recognizable voices in music. He's a 5-time Grammy Award-winning singer, a world-renowned songwriter, a multi-platinum selling rapper. He's a pioneer of the Southern rap scene. He's a founding member of Goodie Mob. He's part of the Dungeon family and the other half of Gnarls Barkley, a creator of anthems that had billions of streams, a celebrated pop culture and fashion icon. He's one of the original coaches on NBC The Voice, a global megastar, a worldwide hit maker, a legendary musician, a genre-busting genius, and ATL's own born and raised, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, CeeLo Green. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, King. I'm good.
Man, when you hear all that, I mean, like, bro, you like, what do you think? When you hear somebody, and I don't know if you've heard it quite like that, but to run down just a small sample of what you've been able to accomplish in your music career, what do you think?
I think it's amazing. I'm humbled to know that that's my acumen. You know what I mean? And, I can't believe it. I've done so much in such a short amount of time.
Right.
I feel like my career is still young. You know what I mean? Like we only been doing it about 30 years.
Right.
We were just having this conversation the other day because we were talking about OutKast being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And there are some rock bands from the 60s that haven't even gotten into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So them to have done it in 30 years or so, roughly, is an amazing feat. You know what I mean? It's incomparable. And so even just reading that list, I'm like, I can't believe that belongs to me because I'm still hungry, I'm still humble,
right,
and I'm still going.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? I know you don't normally partake, but I mean, to get you on here, to get my homeboy on here, because last time you and I had a conversation, I met you were in Target.
Yes.
And you took a picture. My daughter like, man, Daddy, that's CeeLo. I was like, babe, Dad, I want to get a picture. I was
and
like,
this was some years ago,
too. Many years ago.
Yeah.
She was still in high school, as a matter of fact. And I was like, all right, I came up to you and said, man, no problem, no problem, big homie. So I really appreciate that. Congratulations on everything that you've done,
man. And to you as well.
Appreciate you.
And look, I gotta mock it. Like, oh yeah, that's some good cognac, boy. I can't drink right now, but we were talking about it all.
We talked about it.
I don't mind talking about that.
You say you had, I say that's part of what thing that's getting old.
Yeah.
And you say that's the thing that I thought, gout. So you have a problem with gout. And obviously they give you a list of things that you probably, to keep it from flaring up.
Yes.
Spicy foods, anything that has high acidity.
Yes.
Because it builds up the uric acid in your body. And man, it's painful.
It's excruciatingly painful. I've never experienced something so enabling in my entire life. And I just got stricken with it all of a sudden.
Right.
I guess maybe the body just had
built up so much inflammation.
Absolutely. And it just hit me one day. And I thought it was probably because I had been, you know how you lean your foot off the bed?
Yeah.
Just let it just sit out there in the AC all night. So I said, damn, but I couldn't walk.
Right.
And it hurt me so bad. And when I figured out what it was, I was like, oh my God, I thought you had to be 70 years old to go through some shit like this. But
there'll be some young people that suffer from it too, especially if it runs in the family.
Absolutely.
NASA, Artemis II. They were playing Working Class Hero in Space. When you recorded that song, could you have ever imagined that song would be played in space?
No, no. And that was one of my favorite songs of that time for that project, a project called Heart Blanche.
Okay.
I thought it was odd and peculiar that they would use it, but I was so amazed. I'm like, look at God's timing, because I was having quite the week last week.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I went back on The Voice for a couple of different episodes,
Yes.
which was great for me. But we filmed that about a year ago in advance. Also, Kanye West's, Ye to you all, his new album comes out, Bully, and we recorded that about a year ago. And so everything just fell in alignment, for all last week. And then the astronaut, Artemis, how do you say it?
Artemis.
Artemis, I'm saying it wrong. Okay, yeah. So to see that, I'm like, come on now, this got to be a joke.
Yeah.
It's got to be a joke. I'm thinking Ashton Kutcher going to pop out.
You pumped up. Would you ever go to space?
I thought about it, man. I thought about it, and because who was doing it at one time?
Elon Musk was saying, no, Jeff Bezos was taking people up in space.
Yeah, I thought about that. I said, man, if I had the money to waste, I think I would give it a shot. But I want to say that I could be brave enough to do it.
Right.
But because once you're up there, you up there.
You up there.
You stuck.
You up there for a
duration.
minute.
Exactly. So that's the afterthought that makes me feel like I don't know if I care. I don't know if I care.
Because we kind of like going somewhere like, it's kind of like when you go to an event, I like to drive myself because if I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Yes.
I don't want to be waiting on, man, you ready to go already? Yeah, I'm ready to leave and I'm going to leave because I got my own ride.
And what do they call it? An Irish goodbye or something like that? Like I don't ever say goodbye to nobody. I just smooth out the back door. And I always look for all of the different exits.
Right.
Like we sitting close to one, the closest one in my proximity, man, I'm out.
I can just ease on up out of there.
Because I don't like to make people feel like they got to get up from enjoying themselves.
Right.
You don't have to stop partying because I'm ready to go. You do your thing. I'm out of here.
And that's normally how I go in the CeeLo. Like what you notice, like you be at a party and then one person start leaving. It's almost like somebody was waiting for that one person to leave and then make it okay for them to leave.
Absolutely.
And then another person, like, damn,
that's
where did
exactly
everybody
what
go?
happens. So I just learned to go about it the other way.
Right. Do you believe in aliens?
I do. Because I believe that we're aliens.
Okay.
To some degree.
Right.
I think I made this analogy on The Voice too. I said, man, you remember that scene from Star Wars where they walk into the club and the band is all the little different little alien life forms. I think that everybody is unique in their own special way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we are alien of each other. You know what I mean? Some other species is looking upon us from afar and finding us to be as equally as interesting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I believe in just the wonders of God that you can go down into the depths of the ocean and discover new life forms, fish, and all of these unique exotic shapes and colors and innate abilities. I think it's magical. God's mind and imagination is beyond words.
If two aliens came down to Atlanta, they're like, CeeLo, we from wherever. Where are you taking them? How you gonna let them know what they got cooking?
I got to take them through the hood first. I got to take them through the neighborhood first. I got to go. Let's go to Campbellton Road.
Okay.
Let's go to Cascade. Let's go to MLK. Let's go to Yassine's from Old National. Get those a fish sandwich.
Yeah. Okay.
Have y'all ever eaten fish on y'all planet before? That's you. You ain't had no fish like this. So they have fun with me.
Right.
Yeah.
If I were to ask you, who are your top 4 aliens in Atlanta, from Atlanta, on the music scene?
Okay. Let me think. Who's an alien around here? I know most people would probably agree when I say André 3000 is somewhat of an
3
alien.
Stacks.
Yeah. And then people would call me one.
Yes.
So I maybe yeah. Do I exempt myself?
No, you can. Hey, no. You can't exempt yourself.
So I would say me, Dre. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'll come back to it.
Okay.
I don't know too long on it.
It's a scorching sports summer, and you can make all of your picks on Prize Picks. Women's basketball and baseball are heating up, and every football preseason game kicks off this month on Prize Picks. And with the big tennis slams and major golf tournaments on the horizon, there's no better place for all your summer sports picks than Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. Speaking of the W, have you seen Minnesota's rookie sensation, Olivia Miles? They call her the spectacle. She's super fun to watch. I've been putting her in all of my lineups, basically every game. I can add her points and assists to the same lineup, then add one more player and enjoy the night's game. Plus, I can stack a game winner, spread, or total from the W on the top of my player's pick to get an even bigger payout when I'm right. One lineup, one app. The football preseason is here, and there's no better place to run your game than Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. We've got star players on new teams and rookie class getting ready to take over. And all the while, teams look to get started on the biggest football season yet. Make a lineup with player stats, pick a game winner, spreads, total, and combine your picks in the same lineup, all on Prize Picks, now available in all 50 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. Download the app today. Use code Shannon to get $150 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Shannon to get $150 in lineups instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. You born and raised here in Atlanta. What was it like? Because you and I were talking off camera like, man, Atlanta has changed so much. I came here in the mid-'90s. You were here, hell, in the late '70s and the '80s. And to see the change that Atlanta's gone through, what was it like for you growing up in Atlanta?
Atlanta was, okay, as a kid, my most unfondest memory are the Atlanta missing and murdered children.
Yep.
When that episode was happening, it was quite a still time. STILL. Everything felt still. It felt quiet. It felt like suspended animation. And I remember the song that was just kind of dissipating in the atmosphere was "Jesus Is Love" by the Commodores.
Okay.
And I would hear that song all of the time. Father, help your children. No, no, no. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's such a beautiful, sad song, and it just reminds me of the beautiful struggle, growing up in a household with a grandmother, a great-grandmother, 2 aunts, my mom's, my sister, my aunt's two kids, my cousins. Mm-hmm. Growing up around a lot of love. Mm-hmm. And a lot of music, because my auntie was a singer, my uncle was a DJ. Okay. So one of my hobbies as a kid was to just kind of go through his album collection and just, check out the artwork and read the liner notes and the credits and stuff like that. So I was really into music from as long as I can remember. But then on a musical and on an industry level, I remember Atlanta when we were a close-knit community. Everybody was really close. Us, TLC, Dallas Austin, Organized Noise, Long Live Rico Wade, Jermaine Dupri, to name a few. Yeah. Those are all of the usual suspects from Atlanta who really built the city the right way. Right. Yeah. And we were close. We got out and we supported each other. We did everything together. Right. Yeah.
We're going to get to that in a little bit. Both of your parents were ministers, right?
Yes.
And so what was it like growing up in a household with ministers? Normally ministers we think are very strict. Okay, you go out, but you be in at this time. You ain't finna drink. You ain't finna be doing all this other stuff. Bringing girls back home to the house. That was I don't know how it was, but where I grew up, that wasn't happening.
Right.
That wasn't happening. You sit in the living room on the couch. Wasn't no going back in no back room. It wasn't cutting off no lights. But none of that going on.
Not at all. So. Okay, so my father, he unfortunately passed when I was 2 years old.
Okay.
So I had just heard of his legacy.
Okay.
And I guess the way I behaved as a kid, it was just kind of like a whisper of, that's your father's son right there. So when I was a kid, and then in Atlanta, Georgia, hair was always a thing too.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, I used to have long hair. I had what they call a cold wave.
Okay.
Going to the Brunner Brothers hair show.
Okay.
Got my cold wave done. I had finger rings, all kind of crazy stuff. Yeah. But anyway, I wore 3-piece suits, and my father had left behind an ivory pipe. I didn't smoke, but I carried it.
Right.
And my little pocket Bible, the little red one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I acted and behaved like a preacher, innately. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like as my father would, but he wasn't around.
Right.
He had already passed on. Mm-hmm. And then my mother was like, I like to call her the female Forrest Gump. Because she did so many wonderfully unique things.
Yes.
My mother was one of the first African-American firefighters here in Atlanta.
As a woman?
As a woman, mm-hmm. Yes. She was an ordained Baptist minister.
Okay.
She was an entrepreneur. She owned a store called Elegant Bridal, which was a one-stop bridal shop in Greenbrier Mall.
Okay.
You know, if you know Atlanta history, you know about Greenbrier Mall.
Yes.
So I spent a great deal of my life in there, being mischievous and a juvenile delinquent, even though my mother was in the mall.
Right.
I'm at the other end of the mall, snatching
Cutting up.
shoes, tearing up. You know what I mean? So no, but my mother was a fantastic woman. So she accomplished so much, and you know, she ended up also transitioning too around when I was 16.
But she was in a car accident first,
She was in
right?
a car accident, yes.
How old was she when she had a car accident, and do you remember where you were when you got that call?
I remember I was home, and a friend of hers was living with us. She was displaced and living with us. Her name was Mary.
Okay.
And she had gotten a call. She was like, "Oh my God!" And so she said, "Someone said that they, you know, found your mom." You know what I mean? And it turns out it's a brother of mine. His name was Tony Phillips. We still keep in contact. He was the big homeboy in the neighborhood, and at this point, we had moved a little whiles away. From Atlanta, we're from Cascade.
Oh, Cascade Road.
You know, and then we moved on out toward Camp Creek Parkway and Welcome Mall Road and all that kind of stuff. And so that's about 15, 20 minutes away. But when you're young, it seems like you're just, you know, an hour or two. But anyway, some miraculous way, he just happened to be coming past. I don't know what he was doing on that side of town.
Right.
Just happened to be coming past a scene of an accident.
Right.
And recognized my mom, you know, and got the call to the family. And that's how we found out that she had been hurt in an accident, injured in an accident. Yeah.
You said your mom was like Forrest Gump because she was the first to do a lot of things. So that she's full of energy, always outgoing. And then to see your mom in this, what did that do to you? Because it's one thing if your mom had always been in this situation, that's all you knew your mom as.
Right.
But you knew your mom as being vibrant. You knew your mom as being outgoing, just always on the go, just full of life. And now all of a sudden to see her in this situation.
Jovial, life of the party, used car salesman. That's her. that's her vibe.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just always talking. Always got something going on. So I know how to be very lively, energetic. You know, authoritative, strong lady, charismatic.
Right.
Enigmatic. So to see her in this condition was disheartening and deflating because I'm like, I know her and you know, just damn, you know, I just think to myself, I'm like, well, I don't think that she would want to live on in this condition. So it's not a conversation that we had directly. I don't think I was maybe, you know, I wasn't mature enough, I mean, like to receive it in that way. But I think that was the truth that she was trying to tell us by her later kind of like decisions that she made. She decided not to eat, not to take medicine, and just, you know what I mean, like, and I felt like she was, you know.
That was her way of saying, I don't want to live in this condition.
Yeah,
I don't.
But I understood it. I mean, like me knowing her personality.
Right.
And I'll tell you something, man, and it kind of brings back some emotion. But I remember laying in the bed once, and I was just trying to lay there and, you know, pretend as if I was paralyzed because she was quadriplegic. You know, I mean, meaning paralyzed from the neck down. And I laid there, pretended as if I couldn't move, and it's unfathomable. You don't want to know how to feel.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but yeah, with that, I was just like, yeah, man, she definitely didn't want to live in that condition. And I understood. I don't think I would have wanted to either.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like I said, when I'm saying females Forrest Gump, I'm saying all of these many unique things that she vested herself into, and they worked for her. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know, it's like from one end of the spectrum to the other. So just a range of miscellaneous things that she just, you know, sought interest in and succeeded in those fields. So yeah, no. By the time she was ready to let go,
You were at peace with it.
I was at peace with it. I made peace with it really early on.
Right.
And I remember we did a show here in Atlanta at the ACU. Am I saying it wrong? Is it AUC?
AU Center?
Yeah, at the AU. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm losing my words, but at the AU, we were doing a show there. That's Goodie Mob. And I remember this night. This is a cool story too. Real high stage platform, and I'm acting bad. I'm throwing water on the crowd. Let's go, you know. and then somebody threw the water bottle back, pow, and hit my man Timo in the face, and I snapped. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
just took a running leap and jumped out in the crowd, partying like the Red Sea. I landed on my chest and my palms, slid for a second. Then I got up on my feet, but I had knocked the wind. You know how you knock the wind out yourself?
Yeah.
Then I looked around, the homies was right there with me to hold me down, but nobody wanted to claim that
Whoever did, yeah.
But they knew that we were serious about it.
Right.
But anyway, that's a memorable night for us, because that's the night that I got the call. You know what I'm saying?
That your mom had let go.
Yeah.
Lost your father too. You don't really have a memory of him. Lost your mom, who was so outgoing, so jovial, so the life of the party. So now you are a kid. Did you feel Did you feel alone? Did you feel alienated? What was next for you? I mean, did you go live with in-law, your aunts, family? What happened? Well, you were grown at the time when your mom let go, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was 16.
Okay.
So during that time, I was living with different friends and extended family and stuff like that, and working odd jobs. I was working with a company called Talent Tree, which was a temporary agency.
Okay.
So, I could just be home, on any random morning or early afternoon and be like, hey, Thomas, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you like to come work at this warehouse or this, that, and the third? I'm like, all right, yeah, sure. So, yeah, so I was living with my man, Pretty Ken, who's a character. I just saw him do an interview too, and he was talking about it. But yeah, so something I felt really strongly was saying to go home around this time. So you know how Black families are. My grandmother had been a nurse for all my life and all of her life, as long as I remember. And then my sister went to school and got her nursing license so we could take care of my mother at home. And we bought a van, it's like, what do they call it? A disabled van.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
For her. And so we took care of her at home for those 3 years after the accident, before she did finally succumb to complications and all of that. But yeah.
Were you alienated as a kid? Were you a loner? Have you all, because the situation, you don't have any brothers, right?
I have a sister, yeah.
So after your mom, were you alone? You end up going to a military academy? Why was the reason that you ended up going to the military academy?
You did your homework, huh? Well, I was kind of a loner because my mom made it that way. My mom would move out to the boonies or the sticks, whatever you want to call it, and that was her way of trying to spare my life, because I was really into it. You know what I mean? I was alone, but I wasn't really lonely. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So I had those imaginary friends. My imagination was a playground. I love music, and I always saw those old soul singers, those voices, those vibrations, those sentiments. I saw those guys as surrogate fathers. So I really leaned into voices like Jackie Wilson and Bobby Womack and Al Green, and maybe that's kind of why my tone or stylistically I come across that way. Older than my age a little bit. So I've always had a penchant for older music, older cars, older women. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my taste.
Right.
Fine cognacs.
But going to that military school, what did that do for you? What did that do? Because had you not gone there, do you see your life like, man, I'm not the man that you see, that you're sitting here talking to today? I could have easily gone left or right.
Definitely, man. I try not to talk about it and glorify it too much, man, but I was like the polar opposite. And plus, I'm a Gemini, so that, so I was living as a...
You got two sides, huh?
I was definitely into it, man. People have described it as, when you're young and you're dealing with, delinquency.
Yeah.
It's like some of us are just artists without the outlet, without the construct.
Okay.
I didn't really have an outlet yet, and I didn't really have a voice. I didn't really know exactly what it was that I wanted to do. I knew that I was a fan. I didn't know that I could sing. I knew that I could sing along.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So with all of that, with that idle time, and you know how they say that an idle mind is the devil's playground.
Yeah.
I was just mischievous, and I was just getting into trouble, and just what you name it. You name it, I did it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the military school story is because I got put out of the Atlanta public school system.
Damn, CeeLo, you that bad?
I was getting in a lot of trouble. I was getting in a lot. I mean, believe it or not, man. You know, I'm a good guy, but like I needed some guidance, man. Like during that time, like, but you know what it was? I felt like all of that energy. It felt like a power too.
Okay.
So I thought that being troublesome or being a temperament, I thought those were my talents when I was young.
Okay.
Because I could just power up and haul off and slap the shit out of somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, or believe it or not, is it too hard to believe? Like when I was young, I was like Debo from Friday.
Damn.
I was like,
You just fired off on people like that?
firing off on people, making up. I heard you say something about my mama. Like, huh? Nah, that wasn't me. Yeah, that was you. Now, see, that's a terrible story. I don't want y'all to know that. I'm telling you, I'm a changed man.
Yeah.
So, but no, I was into taking starter jackets and taking shoes, and I was robbing people and all kind of stuff.
Damn.
It's crazy.
So kind of like the, but here, if you think about it, look what you was doing back then, and to look at Atlanta now, man, CeeLo, what happened to the city that we love? It wasn't always like this, not everywhere. It seemed like now you can't go no damn where. And you got to watch your six.
I'm like, I look at a lot of stuff that's going on, and I'm almost like, wow, like, where did we go wrong? So like, how did we not give the right example?
Yes.
The right balances, the right information, the right exposure.
Yes.
I kind of don't know what it is. You know what I mean? And I understand it because I once was that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I've always tried to do music with a redeeming kind of quality to it. Okay. As a matter of fact, just to kind of cap off what we were talking about, music for me, when I got the opportunity to go over and be with Organized Noise at the Dungeon, I said, but I've always been a praying man.
Okay.
You know, and I said, you know, in prayer that if God would, you know, spare my life with this opportunity, I would denounce every evil deed and dumb, you know, thing I had ever done. I mean, I would just try to give glory to God. I mean, to the best of my ability, and that's what I would like to believe that I've been doing. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just be wanting to be the counterbalance because I know that it's real life happening out there.
Yes.
And they've taken the music, they've taken the message out of the music, and it's just that negative vibration, that low vibration just being perpetuated. You know what I mean? Like, and we have it's just too much, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's too much.
It used to be, we heard about this happening in other cities.
Yeah.
This wasn't Atlanta. I mean, like I said, there were always certain places that, you know, hey, we don't fool around over there. But now it seems like it can touch you anywhere.
For sure.
That wasn't always, because like I said, I came here in the early mid-90s. You've been here your whole life. Yeah. So you've seen Atlanta, this full transformation from what it was in the beginning to what it became after the Olympics came. Because after 96,
crazy.
It's like somebody dropped a growth bomb here and it just exploded.
I wish I could explain, because there was a time when, you know, the city and the culture here was, again, a more closer-knit community, yes, and we were all emulating the process, you know, of elimination. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and trying to basically utilize that toolage that we were giving as the first responders, you know, like who put the South on the map. Okay, y'all can go about it this way.
Right.
And then we had always thought that, all right, so many of our famed civil rights leaders come from Atlanta.
Yes.
We want to carry on as some of that tradition. We wanted to do music that we could age gracefully with. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, there was a time when that was the inspiration, and people were kind of following those guidelines. But, you know, capitalism, how that go, you know, other things come in. And then you got to look at it like this, man, like ignorance or what have you. Like, it's like a junk bond, or it's like a cheaper commodity. It's
Right.
like, it don't cost nothing to be ignorant.
No.
You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like, it's just like how a proper education costs more. I mean, to go to an Ivy League school.
Right.
I mean, like, so
It should cost more to be ignorant. It's kind of like eating
it's gonna
healthy.
cost you
You know
more.
what? Think about it. If it costs you more to eat healthy than it does to eat bad,
Exactly.
should it be cheaper to eat healthy than it does bad?
Exactly. It's like it ain't worth nothing, but you thinking you get a deal. You getting a deal at 99 cents. You still got charged $1 for nothing. So no, I mean, I don't know what to say about the youth, man. Like, I just have empathy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I hope that I could be an example or serve as a counterbalance. You know what I mean? Like, the spectrum of what Black life, Black entertainment, Black excellence is all about. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, but we be doing so much to the point where people don't even always consider what I'm doing Black music.
Right.
And I'm like, I have disdain for that, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
When did you realize you could sing? When did you realize that you had a voice? Did you sing in the church? I mean, was it talent shows? When did you realize that, you know what? And somebody said, man, boy, you can sing.
My Aunt Orgy, she was a singer. She was the singer in the family. And I lived with her a lot of my life.
Okay.
She was the one that overheard me singing in the shower and said, "You got a great voice." And whenever I was into trouble or into it with my mom, and my mom was like her approach was stern. She was almost like a father.
Yes.
So it's like she
felt she had to be that because your father was gone now, so
Exactly.
she had to be extra.
Absolutely. So she'll cut me off in a second, and hey, get out, do whatever you got to do. You know what I mean? I appreciate it now.
Right.
But my auntie always gave me some place to land.
Right.
And she said, "Let me see about him."
Right.
So I lived with her a great deal of my life, and it was that support that gave me the springboard. You mean like, and propelled me to this point. And I got to always be able to acknowledge her. So Audrey, I love you. Thank you for everything that you've ever done for me. An invaluable person and personality, and I'm forever in your debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a conversation before your mom passed? Did you ever have a conversation with your mom and ask, why you so hard? Mom, why you so hard on me? Why you seem to be so unrelenting, so unforgiving that I'm unredeemable?
My mom she was tough. She was tough, and maybe. No, so let me answer your question. No, I didn't. I never asked. My mom loved me in a different kind of way. Like, I remember, man, you got me talking, man. I feel like I'm in therapy. I'm gonna tell y'all some stories I never told nobody, but one time I was into it with a stepfather.
Okay.
And he gave me a good smack one day.
Uh-oh.
I didn't feel like I deserved it. And I was like, I'm gonna kill him. So
we should be laughing, CeeLo, but you like, you like, hey, yeah, we gonna kill him.
for sure. So
Who is we? It's only you.
I'm telling some of the
Yeah.
homeboys about it. I'm like, hey man, because he got into it with one of my close homeboys around that time.
Damn.
He got it. He was crazy. So one of my dudes gave me a gun, 38 special with the tape around the handle.
Damn.
It was
So that thing stay nice and neat in your pocket. They gonna slip a thing.
So I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Like, and I hope people don't look at me differently, man. But one night I stood over him with the pistol, and I ain't kill him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just thought about doing it, and I just said, nah, I can't do it, or whatever I said to myself. But I ended up giving the gun to my mom, and I told her about what I had done. So she was a G in that kind of way. So it was just like the scene from Baby Boy with Tyrese.
Yeah.
She got it from me. There was no word spoken. And she was just like, damn, So I remember overhearing her have a conversation with one of her homegirls, because he eventually left.
Yeah.
He said, well, if it's that bad, then I'll leave.
Right.
So
What took you so long?
yeah. So he left, and she loves me. I overheard her telling somebody, and blah 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 blah, and my baby was gonna kill his ass. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So
Yeah.
that was the pride. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
not that she wanted me to hurt the guy or be in prison for
Right.
the rest of my life, but that was how bad my situation had gotten.
Damn.
Yeah. So I always took it like maybe she bragged on me elsewhere. And
She never told you,
Yeah.
but she told other people
Yeah.
how proud she was of you,
Right.
but never told you that.
Absolutely. I remember, man, we were filming an electronic press kit. These were things that they did, visualizers for groups in the 90s. So we were filming one, and I wish I could find a copy of it, but I had this, it was transposed shot of me rising up out of her body. So I remember her saying, "Y'all done?" I'm like, "Yeah, we almost done." "Good, get your superstar ass out of here." I was like, "Damn, Mom, I'm trying to,
Yeah.
But before she passed, man, my sister was taking care of her, and I hope I'm not making my mom seem like a bad person, man. She's a great woman.
Right.
But she asked my sister, play the album. So we had all of those advanced copies of Soul Food, Goodie Mob's first album. Play the album. Let me hear what he's doing. And that's kind of how I knew. So she didn't ask me. So I guess my sister just let it play for her. She's like, all right. And so a lot of the teachings, a lot of the things that were instilled in me were represented in the music.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I guess she felt like, okay, he's probably going to be okay.
But back then, black parents, they didn't, "Oh, I love you." They didn't hug on you like that.
No.
They put food on the table. You had a roof and clothes on your back. That was love.
No doubt.
In the movie Fences, when Denzel said, "I ain't got to love you.
For sure.
You got a roof on your head, you got food on your table, and you got clothes on your back. That's love."
That was a real movie. That was a real
Yes, because that's how it was. Not all. We're not monolithic. It's all encompassing. But for the most part, a lot of the black, they didn't do no hugging and doting on you and "I love you" and "come here, give me a hug." They were hard.
For sure.
They were hard on you.
It wasn't like that. Like my mom, she, I remember once she gave me the ultimatum. She came in my room one morning and was like, "Look, you either gonna go to school or you're gonna go to work. What you want to do?" I was like, "I'll go to work and close my door." So, and I stopped. People don't know this. People know this because my life has become such, the opposite. And I'm so fortunate for it. But yeah, I dropped out of school in the 8th grade.
8th grade?
I went back a few times. Yeah.
But see, all they do is see the finished product.
Yeah.
But they don't see the start. They don't see, the stopping. They don't see getting off. All they see is the finished product. And they make it seem like that was your life from the beginning.
Absolutely.
Nah.
Yeah, people think you just fill out the sky singing songs. I come from the struggle. And shouts out to everybody in Gainesville, Georgia, man, at Riverside Military Academy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you find your voice. Your auntie helped you find your voice. But you could sing. You mentioned the guys that the Bobby Womacs and the Al Greens and the Sam Cooks and all those guys that have voice. But that's not the way you went. First, you went to the rap side.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was convenient.
Yes.
I could conveniently do it. I always like rap. I like rapping,
Yeah.
but I love to sing.
Yes.
So singing was a private affair for me. It was, you know how they say music kind of soothe that savage beast? So I loved Bobby Caldwell and stuff like that. Guess you wonder where I've been. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So all that old soul, it just gave me peace. You know what I mean? Like, and I loved it. And when I got the opportunity, I wanted to share that and give that back. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. The rap thing, I could always do it. I never thought I was a good rapper. I just said this on an interview the other day. I thought that I was pretty good. I thought that I was, average. But there's some dudes that can rap. You know, like a dude like Eminem.
Yeah.
Like imagine having all of your having your focus harnessed through one outlet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I got all of these. I deal with multiplicity.
Right.
So I want to try this and do this and that and that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I do.
So have you thought about say, you know what? If I'd have just focused on rap, or I'd have just focused on this, because basically you like Prime Time. Prime was great, historically great at football, was a really good baseball player.
Facts.
Bo Jackson. So you're like, but if I'd have just focused, like, you know what? I'm going to be the best singer I can possibly be, or I'm going to be the best rapper I can possibly be. Have you ever sat back and thought about it like in that term?
Yeah, I have. And I guess I wouldn't change a thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm glad that I'm able to do them both.
Mm-hmm.
And I had those early examples like Force MDs. I've been shouting out a couple of the legends. I still talk to Jesse. I mean, one of the homies, I'm about to miss his name. I think it's Jesse. But one of the legends called me, man. Shouts out to the Force MDs, long live, Mercury, TCD, yeah. But they could sing, "Let Me Love You in the Moonlight," or UTFO,
Yeah,
"Fairy Tale Lover." So I had relationships with them. I got a chance to meet a lot of those legends in my life, but those are the first examples of dudes who was rapping and singing at the same time. Slick Rick, and I took a liking to it. And when I realized I could do them both, I just did them both.
But you were the first ones. I mean, look, in this space of being able to sing, there are not a whole lot of rappers. Off the top of my head, you and T-Pain, and I don't think it's any close with anybody else as far as being able to. No, you can sing, CeeLo.
Right.
Pain can sing.
You can really sing,
but you guys can rap also. So that voice, I mean, normally in rap, and this is no disrespect. I say this respectfully. Yeah, there are guys that have voices, and the cadence is great, but to be able to sing. I've heard you a cappella. I've heard you sing covers. I've heard Pain a cappella. I've heard him sing covers. Ain't nobody messing with you two in that aspect.
I think it's more remarkable to be able to sing. I think it's I think you can acquire, rap,
Yes.
Rap is how they said it in the old days. It's like rap is just conversating, it's just talking amongst each other. You know what I mean? Like rap is like common sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? When something is truly exceptional, or something is, immensely painful, the way that some of my life's experiences have been for me, there's no better place to put it. I mean, like, and give it a poetic justice. You have to find meaning in these experiences. And so sometimes rap doesn't give me that soft palate. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like it's more aggressive. It's more of a contact sport. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's more external.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when you're just dealing with affairs of the heart, you know what I mean? Like, and wanting to really express yourself in the most miraculous and beautiful way, you know what I mean? There's no greater way to do it, no more effective way to do it than with a song, I think.
Yeah. You are the Dungeon Family, the group Goodie Mob. How did that come? Because it's you, Timo, Gip, Cujo. Did you guys know each other prior to forming the Goodie Mob?
Yeah, so I grew up with Timo. Timo lived a street over from the house I grew up in with my grandmother.
Okay.
So I've known him all my life. Me and André 3000 actually went to elementary school together.
Y'all was in third grade together,
yeah. Backbone from the Dungeon family is another brother that I had known for almost all of my life.
Okay.
Cujo and Gip, they were from, the other side of town. But I had heard about Cujo and Timo's group, the Lumberjacks. They were doing the local talent shows.
Okay.
Gip was a part of another group called the East Point Chain Gang.
Okay.
With Cool Breeze. Shout out to Cool Breeze, Cap One, Chief OZ. And everybody was just doing their things. And around the platforms that we had then were talent shows.
Yeah.
High school talent shows and talent night and stuff like that.
Yep.
So it was kind of like, primitive, for that time, but
Yeah.
it's what we had, man. And yeah, so no, and then they went to school with my sister.
Okay.
So they graduated with my sister class of 93, and then their class of 90, I'm 93.
Okay.
So when they were graduating, I was coming in as a freshman.
Right.
But they knew me as Shadana's little brother.
Okay.
The one who get in all the trouble and be, doing, yeah.
So when did you know? So you got this. You guys get together. When did you like? Okay, you gonna leave your group. You leave your group. I'm gonna come in. We gonna do this. We gonna be Goodie Mob. And when did you guys realize that we got something?
So when we got over to the dungeon, I went as a solo artist, and everybody came as themselves. And there was a time when we called the Dungeon family the Goodie Mob. Everybody was in the Goodie Mob.
Okay.
I want to say I was there a couple of years. I actually lived over at the house with everybody. It was really Rico Wade and his executive decision. Some people are born as themselves. Like he was always meant to be a leader. It's really strong suited, had a foresight and a vision, and had a charisma that everybody could subscribe to. And okay, you think so? And he made everybody feel special and feel seen. So he was a great man in that way. I think that it was practical of him to say, all right, we want to try to get everybody out at the same time. And Goodie Mob just ended up being, that place where we can kind of like unionize and become and then plus during that time, people were doing compilation albums. So OutKast's Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music was their album, of course, but it kind of played out, you know what I'm saying, as a compilation album, because let's say, for example, Get Up, Get Out was my song that I'd offered to the group. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they were gracious enough to take it, So I'm grateful for that. They gave me my start, So that's how I end up first on that verse, on that song and on the hook. So I go and I get Dopest Rhyme of the Month in the Source magazine, which was coveted at the time. And I was like, oh, wow. It's my first rhyme.
Right.
This is the first song I had ever done. I had already was starting to get the accolade. And I think that, there was definitely a clear-cut opportunity for me to get a solo situation right out of the gate, which would have been, exactly what we had intended, because I came as a solo artist.
Right.
But it might would have disrupted the natural order of things because I was new to the dungeon.
Right.
So I want to say that it was Rico Wade's heart, soul, and practicality that said, you know what, let's try it this way, and everybody be a group together,
right? And
then we'll break out and
do time.
Yeah. You
said you and Dre were in third grade together. You went to elementary school together. So I'm assuming that he was already a part of the Dungeon family before you got there, correct?
He was.
What was and so I think him and Big Boy went to high school together, right? Yeah, so they had to kind of already form their group.
Yes.
So they were all kind of already set, and so now you go over there and start your group. And so when did you guys realize? Did you always know, like, man, Dre stacked, man. He good. He gonna do something. He gonna do things. When did you guys know that, you know what, the Dungeon family, all you guys were gonna have commercial mega success?
Great story. I knew when me and my cousin Floaty were working at the airport.
Okay.
And we were on a lunch break. Players Ball comes on the radio. And I was like, wow, this is real.
Yeah.
And we decided right then and there, we're done.
You quit the job?
We quit the job right there. Quit the job. I'm gonna tell you how this, and it's like a movie, and it should be a movie. It's Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
We left that job and rolled out to Ballstown, which is now Stankonia because OutKast bought the studio from Bobby Brown, but when it was his, it was called Ballstown.
Oh yeah.
We went out there, and they were producing Get Up, Get Out, for what ended up becoming Get Up, Get Out.
Okay.
And my cousin Floaty says, hey, yo, man, when y'all gonna let my cousin CeeLo get on something? They were like, we're just looking for the right situation for everybody, the right song for everybody.
Right.
So I got in his ear and I just started rapping the verse. He was like, look back at me like, that's it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's how that came about. But I also knew about Dre in particular. I knew that he was special when we were shooting Players Ball, the video, and Puffy, they were doting on him. I saw him kind of getting that star treatment really early, that attention, you know, on him. Do this, da, ba, 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 ba. Oh boy, you look, you know, something like, you know, you look good. I mean, like, you know, and he did. He had all of the makings of a star.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
What's your favorite song OutKast has done?
Ooh.
And you did have a lot of jobs growing up. You worked at the warehouse, you worked at the mall, you worked at the airport.
Yeah.
Quit every one of them, huh?
Yeah, I did. My favorite OutKast song. I love Ain't No Thing But a Chicken Wing.
Okay.
I think maybe what people would know, I love The Art of Storytelling. I'm going to say that one. I love that one.
You need to get up, get out, and get something. Don't spend all your time trying to get high. You need to get up, get out, and get something. How will you make it if you even try? How'd you come up with that?
My auntie. Those are my auntie's words.
Those she used to tell you, huh?
Yeah, that's me paraphrasing, of course. But yeah, that verse was written, stylized, you know, and inspired by a conversation I'm having with her.
Right. Damn. Was that one of your favorite lyrics? What's your favorite lyric that you've written? Even if it's not for you.
Damn, Sam. Favorite lyric I ever wrote or favorite verse?
Yeah. Lyric, verse.
I think lyrically, because I don't even have a lot of rap solo stuff.
Right.
When I was doing the albums, I felt like it was Renaissance. It's like I got this one opportunity to be everything that I am.
Right.
You know, let me just try and put it all in there. So this is a record called Big Old Words. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, from my first solo album, CeeLo Green and His Perfect Imperfections. Big Old Words is my favorite rap song I've ever done. And maybe my favorite song I've ever done is a song called Evening News from the second album, CeeLo Green, The Soul Machine.
Right.
Yeah.
When you guys you guys at the Dungeon family, you got a lot of personalities. I mean, you got you, Gip, Timo, Goody, Cujo, and you got OutKast, you know, Stax and Big Boy. You got a lot of guys in there. You got a lot of personalities. Were there any disagreements? Like, nah, bro, this can't go down like this. It's got to be this. It's got to be that.
No, there weren't. Not early on. Not early on. Anything of any kind of disagreement or something creative. I think all that stuff was kind of hashed out pretty civilly.
Right.
Because we had a production team, a production troupe. So we not only had Rico Way, we had Sleepy Brown, he had Ray Murray, and they were like the three wise men pretty much. Right. You know what I mean? And as far as OutKast album was concerned, they were geared and they had a specific goal that they were trying to, accomplish, and they did it. I think that's the best album of them all. Even though like Soul Food and albums to come, they also were heralded as classics as well. But the first one to really nail it, and cement a place that we could all kind of like grow from. Nothing better than that first album. I believe. And I think it was as good because we all were involved. We all were involved equally. No egos, no entitlements, just hunger and solidarity. You know what I'm saying? Like teamwork, brotherhood, family, you know? And those things do subside with success and space and time and priority.
Yes.
And then ego and entitlement and indifference, you know, those things become more and more irreconcilable. You know what I mean? Like as we become adults and become fathers and heads of households and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and so, but those are just natural developments, I think.
Evolution.
You know? And then it becomes work to try to stay together.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And it shouldn't be that hard. You're like, man, it shouldn't be this hard.
You're not even thinking about it
Yeah.
when we're young, and it's the only option that we have. But when your options open up to you, it's like you have to decide that you're gonna stay down with something. You know what I mean?
Future was also a part of the Dungeon family, right?
Yes.
Did you know Future would be Future? He got the perfect name.
Well,
that wasn't his name at first, though, was
it?
it?
Was Meathead.
Yeah, he had to change that. He had to change that.
Well, he was Meathead, and my childhood nickname was Chickenhead. I don't know why they started.
How you get Chickenhead? Chickenhead was a term that they gave to
Chickenhead. Oh, here comes Chickenhead. Take your chain.
CeeLo, you D-boy, you taking chains, firing on folks for no good.
I don't know what was wrong with me. No, I can't say that I knew that. I didn't see that with Future, but I'm glad that it's him. You know what I mean? And I think you become a product of the environment. You know, I think he had some great experiences. He experienced, he had access, he had exposure to a lot of driven and talented, unique and special individuals. I mean, like, and we were really putting numbers up on the board for the city.
Right.
You know, and so, you know, probability, man, like, you know, like now it's like, it's beyond a reasonable doubt now. And it's like, you know, so now you can really fully believe in yourself, like, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So, and then he changed his name to Future, and that's when I guess he started to have a foresight for his own path, you know what I mean, and plight and journey as an artist. And he's done a remarkable job, for keeping the flag going. So it has Killer Mike.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
How many at the Dungeon family, at the house, how many people stayed in the house on a given night or at a given time?
13, 14.
How many bedrooms at the house?
2.
Damn.
So we were all sleeping on the floor. So it would be me, Mon, what's up, Mon? Dre, Big, Sugar Bear. It just depends on whoever decided not to go home that night. But it was a stack of dirty, funky blankets, and we just slept on the wood floor, them dirty mattresses. Sometimes we didn't bathe for weeks. I ain't gonna say weeks, but maybe a week. You know, because I still have my aunt's place, but you know, like if I went over there, I'd just lock in. I might just stay for the week, because you might only have access for that one ride over there, and then you stuck to somebody can come in and get you. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's kind of what it was. But we were kids, man. You know, I was 17 years old. Right. Yeah.
Did you purchase the house? Do you still?
So I got the second dungeon. Big Boy went and repurchased the first dungeon. Yeah. Now this is the one where the 13 of us were there. Right. So he's got that, and now it's an Airbnb. People can go and visit it. It's a landmark. It needs one of those historic, you know, like, you know, titles on it, like, you know, because we definitely made history. Absolutely. But the secondary house, we call it the White House. It's on the south side of town, in my neighborhood, and my sister is a realtor, and we had just kind of found that it was on the market, and I was like, wow, you know, I had to get it. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want anybody else to have it. Right. And at the time, I just felt like I was salvaging, you know, legacy. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and to be honest, that secondary house, we didn't even do a lot of stuff. You know, some things were recorded there. Right. The Dungeon family second generation, they were there mainly because by this time our careers were already launched. Yeah. We gone.
Doing your own thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we getting married and having kids and raising families and stuff like that. But to save that house and have it, and be able to present it back to Rico Wade as a gift had been my intention. You know what I mean? And he passed not long after that. Yeah.
Is it true that Tupac wanted to be a part of the Dungeon family or Goodie Mob?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think because, if people are Tupac fans, his earlier narratives were positive, pro-black, revolutionary.
Yep.
And that's what we was on. That's the type of time that we were on. Like, again, when I say we really wanted to make the ancestors proud, the ancestors, the hierarchy of this city, whether that be Mayor, Andrew Jackson, Ralph David Abernathy, Martin Luther King. I mean, we were touched, by the work that they had done.
Right.
We wanted to honor it, as best we could. So, yeah, he saw that in us. And when he was in jail, I think he just kind of really needed somebody who he felt like he could relate to and could come to it and didn't want nothing from him, but just had love and shelter. And family, So, yeah, that's true.
Wow. At the Source Awards, the Source Awards when OutKast got booed and Dre said, man, the South got something to say. What went through your mind? Because this was the first time that Southern rap had arrived.
Yeah.
And from that point on, Southern rap was here to stay. Like as you mentioned, L.A. Reid and Babyface, you had seen the Ushers, the TLCs, that R&B style, but now this was Southern rap.
Yes.
And you had a little bit Kilo Ali, you had a little.
The Kilo.
Yeah. But this was the first time on a major stage. This was Southern rap. This was the introduction, the world to see Southern rap. And all of a sudden, this is our first big moment, and then they carrying on like this. What went through your mind?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were there, and of course you don't know if you're going to win or not. We're just happy to be there.
Correct.
I don't think we had all gone to New York together before, maybe one other time, because the OutKast did a big listening party for that album release. So all this was in that same relative time. So second time in New York together, nominated for the award. But they were booing. You can't even really tell just how loud, it was. It was a big boo. Like, everybody booed. I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I just said this in another interview too, like how I felt then with them giving me shelter and giving me love and giving me family and something to be a part of. I wanted to defend it, So this is before I'm even, I had no gauge on self-worth or being, my asset was to throw myself into harm's way for the family. So that's basically what I was thinking. I wanted to fight, and we almost got to fighting.
Damn.
But not somebody trying to attack us personally.
Right.
It's just that when it was ending, dudes was coming over the coming over the aisle, the chairs, just trying to get up to the stage, and somebody was put their hand on my shoulder to balance themselves and jumping over. And I was like, get off me. And he looked back like he wanted, to fight with me. And then, we almost had a little altercation.
That was the same night when Suge Knight said, if y'all want, go to me, and they don't want somebody y'all in your videos.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg said, hey, East Coast ain't got no love for Death Row. Damn, there was a lot going on that night.
It was tension.
CeeLo?
But I'm going to tell you, boy, who was the deepest? Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang was the deepest. I know it was 150 of them. Did nobody want no problem with Staten Island that night, for sure. And they felt like the underdogs, and they felt like the outcasts too.
Right.
Like, because, they weren't necessarily being counted.
Yes, yes. They had been in there for a minute, and they hadn't gotten the love and respect that they thought they deserved.
So we kind of hit it off right away, and we became extended family and allies with Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay.
Yeah.
You signed to L.A. Reid LaFace Records with Usher and TLC. I mean, really, Face and L.A., they're kind of like the pioneers, the godfather of putting Atlanta on the map.
That's a fact.
And you with Usher and you with TLC, and you're like, okay. What was it about that LA saw in you that says, you know what, bro, you could be solo. You're gonna have to do this on your own. Because had he heard you sing or just heard you rap? Or had you did anything for him to lead him to believe that, you know what, bro, he can sing R&B, he can sing. And
I'm glad you're asking me this question. L.A. Reid, and I call him Godfather to this day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that he was partial to me. He was partial to us. I think that he may have had some conversation with whomever and someone giving him context about what it was I was, aspiring to do for going forward.
Okay.
But this is his job to be able to pinpoint and identify with, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And he was like, you definitely got something special. And I just think we had something kindred amongst us because we're both Geminis, so and maybe he took a liking to me like that. And then, but L.A. Reid, I got to just also thank him publicly too, because he took great care of me. When my mother passed, they took care of my mother's,
Funeral
arrangements, you know what I'm saying? When I got married, I'm saying, like, they took care of my wedding for me, just on love, So when it was time for me to do my thing, he gave me a Prince deal, a Prince opportunity, the same way that Warner Brothers gave it to him. So people don't really know this, but I wrote and produced my entire first album.
Wow.
So that's Closet Freak and Getting Grown and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know if people really knew that stuff. But yeah. So no, he did something that was, bold and unique and probably it's just a rare occasion of really believing in something wholeheartedly and giving me the opportunity. Right. So I'm always in his debt as well too. Thank him so much.
R&B. What's going on with R&B? You hear a lot of people say R&B dead. And it's not what it used to be. I'm not saying it's dead. It might be on life support, but it's not what it used to be. We don't have CeeLo, we don't have the voices that we once had. No, and I don't know if maybe it doesn't sell. I don't know if it's not sexy anymore. I don't know what it is. But when I was growing up, I grew up with Teddy Pendergrass and I Barry White and, Hathaway and all those guys. So it was a plethora. We didn't just have one or two. We just didn't have Usher, Chris Brown. We had 15, 20 that you could listen to.
Facts. We were just talking about that in the car on the way over here. And I'm going to admit this publicly. I don't really like R&B. I don't consider myself to be an R&B artist. I don't know what people think of me. I feel like if I classify in any genre, I think I'm an alternative artist.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I have these are the interpretive arts.
Yeah.
I like to say. You know what I mean? So, but maybe I mean it this way. Maybe I don't like what it's become.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But all things could be better if just for balance. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it's just it's too much of one thing.
And not enough of another.
Not enough variety. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think that's how I end up trying to do so much, and maybe it's just far reaching as far as my own personal plight or career is concerned. I'm trying to do everything just to represent those voids or fill those voids. Mm-hmm. So no, but I'm thinking about the OJs and, we did songs like, it was just like, family reunion. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Like, it's just a song about, it's so nice to see the family come together.
Yeah.
Everything don't gotta be about.
Even the big bands sung. You look at the OJs, you look at the Ohio Players, you look at Earth, Wind, and Fire, you look at the Doobie Brothers, you look at Atlantic Star, you look at all, but they sung, even though they were big band and had fast song, they slowed it down. And oh my goodness.
I always get the Atlantic Star and Midnight Star mixed up.
Yeah, but
Atlantic Star, send for me, right?
Send for me. Put a message in the bottle, baby. I'm just a telephone call away.
Just a telephone call away. Yeah.
That's him. Tavares.
Dun, dun, dun,
yeah. Too late.
Yeah. Heaven
must be missing an angel.
Yeah. So, but it's like them dudes was already grown, even though they look older, but they was like 25, 26.
Yeah, they didn't look like 40.
They look 50 years old on their first album.
They did.
So, I don't know. It was something about the time, the the limitations on recording, like, they were recording the 2-inch.
Yeah.
If you don't understand 2-inch tape, everything is digital now, but back then they would record the tape.
Right.
You couldn't just punch in.
Right.
You had to either rehearse, practice and have it down pat, almost perfect, and run it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what you captured, that's what it was. And so
you had to damn near be perfect though.
you had to be perfect. You know what I mean? Talk heat wave.
Oh man. Yes.
People don't even know.
They came out of the Midwest though. If you look at where those groups came from, most of them came out of the Midwest, Chicago, the Ohio, that area.
Yeah, I was about to say Bootsy from Cincinnati.
Yes.
Yeah. We got to shout out
Ohio players, obviously from Ohio, and you had Earth, Wind and Fire from Chicago. So that was the area of which they came from.
Shout out to Satch and Sugarfoot.
Man, see,
come on,
those
man.
were the days.
I wish to God, I want to be them grown men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to represent that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna grow me a big old mustache.
Had to sign.
I want to do that for music, man. Like,
But back then they was trying to seduce a woman.
Yeah.
It was all about the ambiance. It was all about the build up. What they were gonna do and how they were gonna do it. They were just trying. I mean, at the end it was the same because they tried to get you, to this place and be intimate with you. But it just sounded better. It just sounded better.
Speaking of the OJs, Stairway to Heaven.
Yes.
It was just that process.
Yes.
Romanticized.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it was gentlemanly. You know what I mean? Like, it was mature, So we lost that wisdom with that generation. Yeah. And, everybody just want what they want. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just cut to the chase. But even women can be that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, women can be a lot more aggressive these days. As you could tell, the whole change in psychology is represented in the music.
Well, they say women have dirtier thoughts than men. They just do a better job of hiding it.
That's a fact. And so, if you trying to be too overly romantic, they think you bullshit.
Yeah. I'll talk about, you a simp. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You
I'm like, damn.
I'm just trying to be, what I'm saying? How we used to be.
I'm trying to be
back in the day, you go, hey, you got this thing planned, you go pick this person up. Now you Uber to the location, they Uber to the location, or you drive, they Uber. And it's a different time now, see?
DoorDash. It's crazy, man. I hope that, because I hear young dudes like October London.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That's Snoop's guy, isn't it?
Yeah. A couple of the young boys coming up, you know what I mean? And they got that grit in their voice.
Yes.
They got that maturity. It sounds seasoned. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And, of course, the first ingredient to being great at anything is having great taste. You know what I mean? So you have to go back and research, you know what I mean? Like, this music, you know what I mean? Like, the music before you, and, implement that understanding, that information, you know what I mean? Like now, and but you have to also modernize and make it modern. This is where people can make where it's palatable again. But like, I think all music should be, coexisting, and running concurrent with each other. So, I mean, take your pick. But I think also too, it's with radio stations and stuff like that. Like, it's where people go and get their music from now. You got such a wide array of music that you have access to. You don't even know how to be a fan of anything. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to listen to it.
You're so inundated with so much.
Yeah. I think that's what happened too.
Because you remember when we were growing up, is that you go to the record store, you get it, they give it to you, you listen to it, you put the headset on, and you listen to it, and you're like, yeah, I like this one. Yeah. Or do you have them cut you? You have them cut you. You get, choose 5, 6 different albums, and you get 2 or 3 songs off each one, and make you a
mixtape.
Yes,
exactly.
That's what it was. And the incense of burning in the background. I miss that when you can go to Tower Record or Sam Goody, the little mom and pop store in there. You miss that. You miss it was so personable back then. And then you had Soul Train. You had American Bandstand. You had places where you could actually see and hear the artists. Now you just somebody come up with an album. You don't see them. Maybe no more MTV. Artists just pop up like a wildflower.
It's like, what do they expect? What do they expect? It's like, no, industry. Come on, man. Reinvest in music, man, in artists, man, in creatives. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
We need it.
We do.
We need it.
Usher and Chris Brown gonna hit this. I never thought I'd see this. You got two of the most prominent figures currently going in that genre that's gonna hit the stage together. I can just imagine what that's gonna be like, CeeLo.
That's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
I ain't going.
You ain't going?
If I do go, I ain't gonna go by myself, and I ain't taking nobody either. I seen somebody's wife getting tongued in the mouth.
Oh man, you on Chris Brown?
Yeah, I said, well,
how he let that happen though? Hold on. We got to say allegedly because we don't want people down there. Allegedly, he was standing there on the railing looking up, and then Chris Brown tonguing her down.
She initiated it, from what I saw.
But first of all, look. You and your lady going to a show, wife, significant other, whatever the case may be. We got to have a conversation. If he point towards you, you shake your head no. Because now, if you go up there, we came together, but we not leaving together. I'm just letting you know that.
For sure.
And then we'll talk about, well, it wasn't too much. It was whoa, what you mean it wasn't too much?
Oh,
that's the internet. It's forever.
They had an interview. Somebody talked to him?
She said it was, she got a little carried away.
Ooh.
A little. As a man, how you let your wife go do that, CeeLo? If you man, I understand that. Hey, she's her own person, and I trust my wife. I'm just saying, bro. If the scenario is what they said, that was his wife, and she got up on that stage, and like I said, she.
I'm scared to even say what I'm even thinking about that.
But I'm saying we have this discussion. Okay, your lady nice looking. That's probably like especially if you close by and he's like, oh, okay.
So they talked to him. So what was his thing? What was he saying? I know she a Chris Brown fan. That's why when he pointed her out, I let her go. And because sometimes I'd be wanting to believe that it's trolling. Like they would transplant it.
Well, you need to put somebody else. You need to troll with somebody else, girl or wife. You can't troll with mine.
No, I didn't know if it was real or not.
That's a part of it, but I'm just saying. But the way he was just looking, he was amazed too.
I saw it. I saw it, and I was like, "Is this real?" I don't know what's real no more.
I don't.
I'm like, are they? Is it just to create some controversy or what?
Because we saw this when Usher had his residency in Vegas.
Yeah,
and we saw this a lot of times, and women like. I'm like I'm saying, we're going to have this understanding. If he looks at you and points you and tell you to come up there, you say no.
Jesus.
You got to say no. I'm just keeping it real.
Because that's a conversation that you have at home.
Yes.
I'm like, why you want to go?
Okay, we can go. I like Usher too.
I ain't going.
Okay, if you ain't going, but does she? Okay, you say you're not going, but she goes with her girlfriend. And all of a sudden, you watching the concert, it's online, and all of a sudden you see your lady up there. And she grinding on him, and he grinding on her. She on the couch, and they do it, and all of a sudden, he put a little tongue in her mouth.
Oh!
So now what?
I ain't going, but if that happens, I'm coming. You wait down there. But I think I understood because they were just trying to say like it was his way of just saying I'm confident, I'm secure in our relationship and our love. I know she brought me.
I'm confident too, but how one other man could kiss a lady?
That was a nasty kiss. That was a nasty kiss.
Hey, it wasn't just one. It was a couple, and it went back for another.
I'm seeing it in my mind right now. I'm like, no. You talking about divorce papers early in the morning. Let me get off that, man. That's the thing about Q&A, man. I get uncomfortable, man. I used to be really comfortable about talking. Right. I get uncomfortable, man, because I'm almost like you're either going to become too comfortable with talking too much and telling the truth or get comfortable with lying. It's like either one of them could be to your detriment. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to say, man. Between me and you, I'll tell you some how I really feel about that. But I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna tell everybody. That's my business.
Working with TLC.
Okay.
when you got with those, they were at the height. I mean, they burst onto the scene. That trio was amazing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What was it like working with them? What was it like being in the studio?
Well, we knew them. We knew them from the neighborhood.
Right.
Chili Rosanda, she used to go to my high school.
Okay.
So very beautiful girl. Always been beautiful her whole life.
Yep.
Everybody knows her, and what was so dope is that she was talented. So when she was brought aboard to be the third, installment and become the C in TLC, it was like, oh shit, like this is happening for the hometown, for the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like, she's one of ours. So again, just to make a long story short, we all worked together. It was just a few of the same studios. It was either Bosstown, Doppler,
Yes.
This was even before Patchwork. Shouts out to Patchworks too. But so you couldn't help but
That's
bump.
Bob Whitfield's studio, right?
You couldn't help but bump into people
Yeah.
in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It was a small, close-knit community, a creative community. So, my man Marquez Eldridge, who wrote Waterfalls for them,
Yes.
he wrote it and he asked me to demo the song.
Yeah.
And that, because a lot of the times, man, like, you know what your intention is on something. You don't really know what the outcome will be.
Right.
Nobody knows that it's just going to be bam. You know what I mean? Like, because if you knew how to write that exact effect each time, you would do it over and over and over again. I mean, but the industry is much like a roller coaster ride. It's like you wait in line, you ride the roller coaster, it's excitement and screaming and hollering for about 2 minutes straight.
That's it.
It's over. And if you want to ride it again, you got to get all the way in the back of the line. That's how it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, but anyway, he asked me to demo it. I didn't think nothing of it. I did it for him. He's my friends, a favor for him. They cut the record. It's a hit record. And then they kept some of me in the vocals. So you can hear me if you listen really good.
Wow.
But I sang the whole song.
Really? Mm-hmm. But you see what they went through, obviously, the contracts. What is it about the music industry? Because it's hard to find a really good story in the music industry because, bad contracts and they got you locked in and you think you signed this and you signed that and they take all of this and they take all of that and you're like, these musicians, these artists work so hard, they get so little and the most of them have major, major success and when it all comes down to it 10, 15 years later, they don't have anything to show for it.
Well, I'll say this. To speak to their situation, I know that the only writer and publisher was Lisa Left Eye. God bless her. Tion and Chili did not write their parts.
Okay.
I want to say Dallas wrote everything besides Left Eye's parts. So if you don't get any publishing, you don't get a residual, right? And I hope I'm not speaking too inappropriately about that because I know it's personal and it's sensitive, but it's also public that, Tion was stricken with sickle cell.
Yes.
And it affected their touring. You know what I mean? Like, that's
where you make your money.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if you can't tour because of those health reasons or otherwise, then of course that end result over time could be that, that pot not looking like a lot.
Right. You come up with, now you're doing your own thing and then you come up with an alter ego, Gnarls Barkley.
Yeah.
Why and how did you come up with that?
I had done then 2 solo albums and nothing really stuck. I had critically acclaimed albums. My first solo album was even nominated for a Grammy, which was amazing. But it didn't have the commercial appeal or, sales, viability, what have you. So at the time, I'm just thinking, all right, well, I enjoy to write and produce. I don't have to be famous. I don't have to be a star. I mean, I enjoy to do music. I could write and produce for other people.
Right.
And I had always felt as if, if I did not do music or succeed in it, I would, in some form or fashion, some facet of industry,
yes,
I could
success.
thrive in success. So because I'm into stage production and you name it. So I do all of that stuff. But Gnarls Barkley just came from, I met Danger Mouse as a producer. His music was really unique and original. It just struck me in a peculiar way. It reminded me of some of my thoughts, some of my ambitions, and some of my musical tastes. Because his music is throwback to '60s, like '60s rock, and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. I wrote some stuff to it. I'm trying to condense it because it's such a long story. But I wrote these songs. And I said to myself, hey, are these the songs that you would have written if you wrote the songs?
Right.
We went in the studio, had about 8 days to write and record because we both were doing some other things. And so let's get in here on our own dollar and try it out and see what we can come up with. So it's basically just experimentation. Right. And I've always wanted to explain the name Gnarls Barkley. It's just a gag, right?
Right. It didn't have nothing to do with Charles Barkley, did it?
No, but see, we went through a couple of different names. Like I remember he called me. I think they were drunk. He was with some of his homeboys. He was like, "Yo, I got this idea." So I was with some of my friends and we were just talking about, crazy names we could probably name this project. And I was like, either it's going to be Gnarls Barkley or Bob Gnarly or Gnarls in Charge, like Charles in Charge, just going through a bunch of stuff. And I just thought that it was funny. I thought it was ridiculous enough to not be overlooked. You can't. It's like Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
Or Oingo Boingo.
Yeah.
Or the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so absurd and ridiculous, you can't forget it.
Yes.
And he said, I can't wait until this album works and you have producers in the future or executives in the future talking to other artists like, hey, so I want you to kind of give me some of that Gnarls Barkley kind of style, some of that flavor. So it was always his plan. This is Danger Mouse, my partner producer.
Yeah.
He thought it was a cool name. I just didn't care. You know what I mean? Like, I was a little bit.
It kind of stuck, huh?
Yeah, it just stuck. I wanted to call the group Scarlet Fever. You know what I mean? Like, which I don't know if it probably wouldn't have done as well.
How did you get the name CeeLo? Who came up with the name CeeLo?
My name used to be Rollo at first, believe it or not.
On Sanford son, my homeboy.
Yeah. My name used to be Rollo. My name is Carlo.
Okay.
So CeeLo is an abbreviation of that. And it was Sleepy Brown who gave me the name CeeLo Green.
Okay.
Because he said, man, your voice remind me of Al Green.
Right.
So that's where that came from. Well,
so, Crazy. I mean, that song is...
I hope I'm answering everything.
You are. Okay. You're doing a great job. The song Crazy, and it's great. But when I heard you sing that song a cappella, to hear every note and to hear you hit every note, I think that's what gave people a really appreciation because the song is catchy.
Yeah,
the song is very, very catchy. But see, when you hit that thing a cappella and you just standing on that stage and you hear, I think you're crazy, bro. Did you know? Like, I just want to sing it one time a cappella, and I want people to hear. Why did you do that?
And this was like the Grammy performance in the airline outfits?
Yeah.
Okay. We just thought that it was bold to have people on the edge of this, because at this point, that was like the song of that year.
Yes.
But we had done it so much, it had been covered so much so quickly. It was truly a phenomenon of that time. Mm-hmm. This song has got a Guinness World Record.
Yes.
So I never in a million years would have thought that, I would have written anything, saying like to that magnitude.
Right.
So we just kind of wanted to strip the song down to give it grace, you know what I mean? And not to overindulge in ourselves or overexploit, the success that we were having. As a matter of fact, we did a couple of things like that. Like in Europe, this song was number one for, I want to say, several weeks, even before we even signed a record deal, because everything happened independently. Wow. The song leaked out and it went to number one in Europe due to digital downloads alone. And we have a Guinness record for that as well.
Wow.
So that's never been done in history.
Right.
And it almost beat the reigning champion, Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody, I think which was like 9 weeks or something like that at number one. We almost beat it and could have beat it. But Danger Mouse is a savvy dude and individual. I wasn't even concerned about that, but he was right. He was like, "No, let's take it down." Because who are we? We got one record. We may not ever have a record like this again.
Right.
You don't want this to be the one record that destroys a legacy.
Right.
I mean, like, come on, man. We could never be better than Freddie Mercury and Queen. I'm like, you're right. Don't want to be. Wasn't even trying to compete or compare in any kind of way. So I'm like, of course not. And that was just so bold and brazen. It gave so much more rock credibility.
Yes.
That we would, but it was also selfless and honorable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I don't think anybody had ever heard your voice. I mean, they it's like, well, that's him singing. But to hear it like that, to hear no instrumentations over it, and to just hear your vocals.
Also, I tell you why. I was just forgetting about this. During the time, do you remember an artist named Moby?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. So Moby was this cool white kid.
I think him dissed it.
Yeah, he did. But he was having that hit. Ooh, Lord, trouble so hard. So it was like some old sample mixed with something modern, and it was fantastic, right? For that time. So Danger Mouse had just done a mixtape called The Gray Album, which was a mashup of the Beatles' White Album and Jay-Z's Black Album.
Okay.
So call it The Gray Album, right? So initially, they thought that Crazy was one of those type of mashups. They thought that my vocal was an old soulful vocal from yesteryear, and he just put a beat on it, and there you have it. So I think that was an opportunity that we just took this and said, no, the guy really sings it.
F you. How'd you come up with that?
All right.
Were you just having one of those moments?
All right. So because we had the success of Gnarls Barkley.
Yeah.
I didn't have a solo deal.
Right.
And they were like, okay, we got to get this guy a deal.
Right.
So I did this big, huge deal. They were like, well, what do you want? I was like, I want to record in Miami.
Right.
So I got my crew together, shipped my cars out there, rented a big house out there, and set up all the equipment. We were off to Miami for a couple of months, for that summer, I think. And I recorded maybe like 40 to 60 songs. Wow. And I wasn't nailing it with them. So I ended up giving that music away with a mixtape called Stray Bullets, or some of it.
Yeah.
I still got a lot of stuff that's just unreleased. And they introduced, I go to LA to record. I got introduced to Bruno Mars. So they were kind of like being introduced as Phil and Bruno. Then it was his writing partner, Phil Lawrence.
Okay.
Love both of these guys. And so funny, so charming. But I didn't know him, so it was going to be my first time kind of like opening up and sharing my creative space with somebody I didn't know.
Right.
But it was my A&R, Mike Karen. It was his idea to say, man, maybe you guys could come up with something together.
Right.
And like he's another genius type, mega mind on the executive level, because he's around already ahead of the curve about a lot of stuff. He saw Bruno before anybody else did.
Right.
So with that, we go in the studio, and I'm like, all right, okay. I played him some stuff I was working with, and we just had some general conversations. And I was like, I don't know if I like the vibe. So I said, I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom. And I just left, and I never came back, which was, disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. And I didn't realize that. So I apologized to them. To make a long story short, we ended up getting back together again. They were gracious. But he said, okay, man, but this time, can you come over to our spot?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. So I went to a spot that they had, and every time I'm out in LA, I ride past it because I don't know if it's there. I doubt he still uses that place anymore. But I walk in the door, and he says, so I got this idea. Now, check it out. hear me out. I see you driving around town with the girl I love. Fuck you. But he said, but I don't know if I want to say fuck you. I don't know if it's bump you, forget you, never mind you, ride around town, cruise around town. So we were just kind of going with the right phrasing. And I eventually said, I immediately said, I love it. Because, to answer your question, I wanted to spite the record label.
Mm-hmm.
I said, if y'all don't like the music that I'm doing, then drop me. I mean, like, I'm thinking I'm going to get dropped because of this record.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I did it to be absurd and ridiculous and disrespectful to the label. The whole storyline with the song is fictitious, obviously, but yeah, I thought that it was, to me, it represented a big fuck you to the label in the industry.
It is one of your biggest songs.
It'd have been the biggest song. I said, well, goddamn. And that's the truth.
Yeah. Launching Bruno Mars' career. I mean, like you said, I don't know if people know. I mean, he was I think he's from Hawaii, and he's performing with his band, and he hadn't had the level of success. Obviously, he's huge. He's about to go on tour now again with Anderson .Paak. But did you know? I mean, what did you know about Bruno Mars? Did you know anything about Bruno Mars?
Nah, they were just because they were being introduced to me as Phil and Bruno. That's the way that they were referred to. So. No, they hadn't done anything. I think that they were just kind of writers and producers and doing stuff here and there and moonlighting around, and but had a good vibe, had some good ears and good instincts, and the label thought enough of them to introduce them to me at the time, and I basically befriended them, and I felt like I didn't know them from anything else,
right?
So I felt like I was taking them under my wing,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And allowing them to, apprentice me, if you will. And so one of his earlier songs, "Just the Way You Are," he wrote that for me. That was supposed to be my song.
That's what I was like, and I was about to ask you. That song is 21 times platinum.
Yeah. And
he wrote it for you. Why did you turn it down?
Because I don't really like R&B.
Also, Pharrell Williams wrote "Happy"
for me. What can I say, man?
It just wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't meant to be. Well, Just the Way You Are, I felt like it was too soft and some other shit. I'm like, it ain't for me. And he did it, and it goes on to be, but it worked for him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm always willing to win, lose, or draw by my decision and integrity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll do something off the wall and left field, but if I love it, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, I'm committed to it.
Yes.
It is what it is, win, lose, or draw. And I'll live to fight another day.
No regrets about not doing those songs. Mm-mm. Because when I look at "Happy," I'm trying to, because, a lot of times we've heard a lot of like movie roles that such and such turned it down, and you try to go back and envision and play in your head, like, man, could that lady or guy done this role justice? Or you hear songs where he wrote that song for her, or she wrote that song. It's hard for me to imagine, after hearing the original artist sing it, even though they wrote it for someone else, that someone else would have. I don't know how with your voice. I don't know how it would have played. Obviously, you can sing.
Yeah, I could have sung it, and I did a version of it.
Right.
But like I didn't love it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And so you got to love it because you got to be passionate.
I got to love it. But we ended up doing another song that I liked a lot more. It's called "The Other Side." So I'm the only feature on that first album.
Right.
Doo-Wops and Hooligans.
Wow.
And then with Pharrell, he came. I was recording Lady Killer, and he came to the Bahamas to see me.
Yeah.
And the way that he pitched that record to me was like, yo, I'm doing the Despicable Me soundtrack, and here's a record idea that I have, and I want you to sing it. So he played it for him. I'm like, cool. But in my mind, I'm thinking it's child's play. I'm like, okay, it's for a kid's movie.
Right.
I didn't really know how to really take it, but so seriously.
Right.
I'm like, all right. So, but I'm here to do another project, so I'll get to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we'll do it because I love Pharrell. And I'm saying all of these things respectfully.
Yeah.
So, but when he decided to keep it for himself and make it a single, he had come to the label for clearances, and I didn't get the memo. You know what I'm saying? If I had known that it was something that he felt that strongly about, I would have done it personally for him.
Just for him.
You know what I'm saying? But then, I feel like his generosity, and selflessness is what made that song the success that it is, because he was willing to give it all up. But the catch to it is, he owns 100% of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he wrote it and produced it. So I just would have been working for him to sing the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You wouldn't have got you got a little bread out of it, right?
I'm sure we would have negotiated something, but I'm trying to almost like speak from a technical, logistical perspective where people can kind of see what ends up being these determining factors, or how the esteem is curbed. You know what I'm saying? Or the enthusiasm is curbed. It's like, I don't what can I,
You created a song for Robin Williams. You said, life reminds me of Robin Williams. We've got to laugh the pain away.
Yeah. So I feel like, first of all, I love Robin Williams, one of the all-time favorite comedians and all-time greats.
One of the great actors, because he has range. People don't realize how, because they think he's just funny. He came to life on Mork and Mindy. He started with the Happy Days, and then he got his own show, Mork and Mindy, and people just think, he had incredible range.
Oh, I was in love with him after Mork and Mindy, and for some reason I always watched for him. What's this guy up to? And I think the next big thing he did after Mork and Mindy was Popeye. You remember that?
Yep.
Him and
then what? Shelley Duvall.
And then there was another movie, The World According to Garp. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I remember the commercial campaign. It was the music that was playing. It just reminded me of him, and it was "When I'm 64" by the Beatles. Okay. But I didn't know that was them. I just remember. And anybody you probably could go back and find all those commercials on YouTube somewhere, and you'll see it. But it sounded the music sounded so whimsical, like him. And I said, if he's going to be in it, it's probably going to be good. Right. So you're right. What Dreams May Come. All the many things that he's done. He's one of our all-time. He's supreme. Yeah. Robin Williams. So when he passed, it was really hurtful for me, because I'm like, it's like the laughter dies. You know what I mean? Like, and so much wisdom and so much, so much color. It's like everything just goes black for a moment. Yeah. And I'm like, the producer I was working with on this record, he had the idea, but he kind of wrote it. And I was like, that ain't really deep enough. You sound like a young kid. You got an idea. I can't even remember his name. I'm sorry to be disrespectful to him, but I said, you got the right idea. I said, but give me an opportunity to rewrite it for myself. Right. So I rewrote it and I personalized it. I was like, yeah, this is how I feel. I feel about it. And the video was amazing too. So a lot of people don't know that record. But he said something really great once before. He said, man, like, I laugh and I want to make the world laugh because I know what it is to be in pain silently. And if I could, help alleviate that, you know what I'm saying, like for people, then that would have been, you know what I'm saying, like, well worth it. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And I was like, yeah, I can relate to that.
You have a song with Offset, and he was recently shot. Where were you when you heard the news that Offset had been shot?
Was traveling. You see everything in I guess what seems like real time. So no. That's my baby brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, love to Offset. Rest in peace to Takeoff, Quavo. I love all them boys. I mean, like, because a business partner of mine, Danny Zook, and he was their manager. So Danny Zook is like my brother as well. And when he adopted them, I adopted them. You know what I mean? And of course, they had something so special, so unmistakable. I said, to me, they were like the Southern DOS Effects. When they just ushered in a whole new rap style, and the entire, industry had to emulate it because it was just that dominant. You know what I mean?
You see Bruno, and he made light of the situation. Like, man, I've been paid that debt off. You heard the number of that. I'm like, damn. Because when it came out, like, ain't no way somebody getting a hold of that kind of bread. And then you hear everybody. It's funny to me. It's not funny, but it's normally when somebody gets shot or something bad happened to someone, Everybody sending their well wishes. Well, when Offset got shot, man, that end owed me $800. He owed me $1,500. Man, he owed me 10 bands. Where the casino said, well, he owe us $100. I was like, well, damn. What happened to get well soon? We wish you well, bro.
They didn't give a damn. They didn't give a damn.
CeeLo, I had never ever seen or heard anything like this.
They didn't care. We care about you though, bro, man. Get well, man. I hate that happened to you, brother.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier the Kanye show. And he invited you, and you did some things. And what was that like to see Kanye back in his element? Because he said some things that I don't necessarily agree with.
Yes.
But there's no arguing. There's no denying the talent from a creative side, from a producer side, from a rapper side. There's no denying he's one of the historically greats.
Absolutely.
But I think it's kind of gotten overshadowed by some of the things that he said and some of the things that he's done. And Marcus Aurelius in his when he was praising Julius Caesar, when he was burying Julius Caesar, he said, the good gets buried and the evil, the bad gets to live on. Mm-hmm. And I think with Kanye, even though how great he is, even the bad things that he said has overshadowed the good that he's done.
Which is unfortunate.
Very.
I can't really speak in defense of his decisions.
Yes.
I would like to think now he's remorseful. Mm-hmm. Because obviously the universe is still showing him favor.
Yeah.
And I hope that we can be as forgiving, for someone in their time of humanity. Mm-hmm. Maybe he was trying to make a point. Maybe there was some validity in what he was saying. Mm-hmm. We can all agree to disagree.
Yes.
And there are things that, that are meant to be politically correct or just not spoken about at all.
Correct.
But a political correctness is not the whole truth, but the whole truth ain't nobody's business. Keep your personal opinions to yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just entertain.
Because at the end of the day, 50 said something very interesting. He said, no matter what opinion you have, somebody's going to be absolutely 1,000% opposed to it.
Absolutely.
You're never going to find something you say or something you do that's going to make everybody happy. So just understand, once you say it, you're going to offend or upset someone.
Once you internally, it's your opinion.
Yeah.
Once it's publicized, it's your politics. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. Yes.
That's your politics. That's your policy.
I saw Dave Chappelle was at the show.
Yeah. He was with the homeboy of mine, Ray.
Okay.
From the Stereotypes. What's up, Ray? And he sent that clip to me. I said, "Oh man, you was in there with Dave." I said, "That's cool." So I posted the clip
right.
from his vantage point.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't know who was in there, man. I didn't even know I was going, man. He called me at the spur of the moment, and again, I tell you how the song came about. He reached out to me early last year, around this time last year, and asked me could I or would I be interested to work with him? Like, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I actually put a post up on my Instagram prior to that, and I was like, "Yo, I want to help you out, man. Like, if you ever need anything from me, man, I want to be at your service." So anyway, he called me out. I go to Japan. Me and my son, Lake, we go out there, and he didn't show up.
Boy, that ain't the most Kanye thing ever. Come on, I know that man didn't get you to go way to Japan.
I was so mad.
Hold on, CeeLo. I know this man didn't have you and your son get on a plane, go way to Japan.
Well, in his defense, he called me and said, "Yo, my wife has gotten sick or something." This was around Grammy time of 2025. My wife got sick out here.
She got sick when you landed in Japan or before?
Before. So we bumped into each other because we were all in LA at the Grammys.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So we saw each other. He said, "I'm going to see you later." All right. So we leave there going to Japan, and we get out there. I think we were out there a day or so.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking he going to pull up. He's like, "Yo, man, I'm not going to be able to make it, man. The wife got sick of this, that, and the third, man. I apologize, man." And at first I was just kind of like at a loss for words. I didn't really know what to say because I'm like, what do I do? I mean, we was going to be out there for the week. And I'll admit to you, I got upset.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I definitely got upset. I called the wife. I said, man, what should I do? What should I do? And she said, listen, just take it as an opportunity, to
See the culture.
To see the culture. You've never gone to Japan and traveled abroad with your son.
Right.
Just domestically, use it as a paid vacation. Go see the culture. And then also, let's not forget, you have full access to the studio. So with that being said, I was like, you know what? I'll do that.
Okay.
And then, how he works is he had a list of things that he was kind of looking to do.
Yeah.
So I probably did something to every song on the album. So it would be like, okay, this needs a hook right here, or this needs a lyric change, or I want to add 2 bars right here, but I don't really know if you got 2 bars you can fill in for that to complete that thought.
Right.
Just try something. So it's all kind of little, paperclip stuff of what he wanted to see done. So what I did was I did everything. I did everything he asked me. I was a consummate professional, and then some. I did some shit he didn't ask me to do.
Yeah.
And then other than that, we just kicked it, ate some good food and massages and what's that stuff we was drinking? Matcha. You know what I'm saying? Sushi all day. I can't eat no sushi no more, but we had fun.
Yeah.
And then you never know how things work out. A year later, they wanted to put the record out because a version of this album came out and I wasn't on that version. So it leaked out and whatever happened with it. And I said, oh, I guess that's it. And I moved on from it because I'm not really one to hold grudges for too long. So, yeah, they called me, hey, man, I want to thank you for being a part of the record. And, yeah, it's one of my favorite records, the one that we did together. And people don't know, we got a long history. Kanye produced 2 records on the Goodie Mob's album, World Party.
Really?
But we didn't know it was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he was working with Derek D. Angeletti at the time. So we thought it was him, but it was really some Kanye tracks.
Right.
So, yeah. But that's it. And so then he asked me, I said, look, man, hey, congratulations. Good to see you back, baby. Loving it. If you ever need anything from me, man, I'm here for you.
Right.
He was like, okay, well, can you come to LA tomorrow? And I was like,
He really like working last minute, doesn't
he? He do. I said, I don't know. I actually had some stuff planned.
Right.
I had a whole event that I was about to be doing in Atlanta for 404 Day.
Yeah.
So, but we talked. And I was like, the wife again. Shout out to Shani.
That's an opportunity.
She was like, it's an opportunity. You know what I mean? I said, okay. And we got it done. And I left it the next day. So I was supposed to be on both shows.
Right.
But we didn't get there in time enough to rehearse and go through the exercise of the harnessing and, they had to make sure they safeguard the situation. As you can see, it was pretty. It was the most beautiful and elaborate stage.
That production was unbelievable.
I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And on that, it's merited. I mean, like that. He's one of our most influential, most unconventional, creative geniuses, and I'm big enough to say that. I'm big enough, my brother. So I'm big enough to do it. I mean, like, it was great. It was phenomenal to be asked, invited, included. I mean, like, and a part of. Like, I mean, I'm humble, and hey, man, I just separate my church and stayed on that. You know what I mean? And let the bullshit blow in the breeze.
Yeah. I recently read that Kanye got 0 publishing royalties from Through the Wire. Shaka Khan's David Foster, Tom King, Cynthia Wells took 100% of the publishing right as part of the sample clearance.
I can see that.
So in other words, that means he didn't get it cleared from them.
Well, what happens? He definitely got it cleared, or else it would have been. It wouldn't
come out.
No, it would have been a legal suit.
Right.
So what happens is when you use a master usage, a master sample, you sample all the musicians, the writers.
So everybody would need to have signed off on it.
Absolutely. So that's what happens. But you could do it. You could do a replay or interpolation. Am I pronouncing that right? Interpolation. You know what I mean? So there's different variables, that come out of lesser tax. You know what I'm saying? But a master sample with the voice of Miss Shaka Khan as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to pay for it. No doubt.
Damn. He ain't get. I mean, that song was hot, but everybody knew it was Shaka Khan through the
Absolutely.
Through the
He freaked it though.
He did,
and that's happened a couple of times in record.
So that's common, huh?
Yeah, it can be.
Oh,
but then again, sometimes it's worth paying for.
yeah.
A replay or something like that. It might not have the same spirit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He did it justice.
Yeah.
Writing. Do you like writing for other people?
I do. I enjoy it more. I can be I still get nervous to do stuff. I'm nervous now. I mean, I'm just quiet and subdued and chill in real life, man.
Right.
On TV it's this over the top, my outrageous personality.
Right.
And for some reason I'm just comfortable on stage to do that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I am an entertainer, but office hours, man. Like when I be done with it, I'm done with it, man.
Right.
I'm at the house looking at YouTube, whatever I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So no, to answer your question, I could just write for people. I could just write and produce because I really enjoy to do that too.
But then you don't get to do what you good at, which is perform.
True. Somebody will come and get me. Somebody will come get me out the house because, word on the street is I put on a good show.
You put on a great show. Were you T-Pain before T-Pain? Because I asked Pain, I had Pain on the show. I said, bro, with a voice like that, bro, why don't you just do it? He said, ain't no money in that. I said, bro, you don't need auto-tunes. I said, your voice is impeccable. Hey, I don't know if they're five men singing right now. That voice is better than Pain's.
It's true.
He said, ain't no money. He said, I just needed a gimmick. And he said, hey, it worked out well for me. And it's hard to argue.
He kept it so real, didn't he?
He did. Because prior to me, I just thought he was a rapper. I didn't know. I was like, damn, he using auto-tune. But then when he started doing covers, the first cover I saw him do was Sam Cooke, A Change Is Gonna Come. And then he started doing more. I was like, he can really effing sing.
It's kind of like what I call a comedic approach.
Okay.
It's like, if you like it, I'm serious. If you don't, I'm just joking with you.
Right.
You kind of see what I'm saying? And I think that's the way a lot of talented individuals have kind of soft-shoed their way in.
Okay.
Let's say Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
And he would put singing inside of his comedic set.
Yes.
Stand up.
Yes.
And before you know, you're like, oh, but you can really sing.
Yes.
He's one who can actually really sing.
He can.
Tommy Davidson.
Yeah.
From Living Colour.
Yeah.
Can really sing. You could tell when he's doing, you remember Varnell from Martin?
Yeah.
Jack Black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To say there's no cultural bias. I'm fans of all of these people. I love Jack Black. I love Tenacious D and stuff like that, man. Like he's so supremely talented, So yeah, I think but everybody has their kind of qualms because to sing is like stripping down to your soul. You know what I mean? So there's a vulnerability in doing that. You mean because you're just subjected then to unpopular opinion and scrutinism and everything. You know what I mean? Because again, when you open up your mouth, somebody ain't gonna like it. Not everybody gonna like it. Right? that goes along with singing too.
Yes.
So yeah.
What artists are similar? Who do you look at today and like, okay, you see a little bit of yourself in?
I definitely see some of myself in Bruno Mars. I see some of myself in Anderson .Paak. I see some of myself in Lizzo. Who else is super duper dope? That's what comes to mind.
Yeah.
Top of my head.
Acting. Do you want to do more acting projects?
I do, because if I can't do nothing else, I can act like I can act. No, so I only did one thing, and I was actually talking to my agent recently, and we were talking about it. And he was like, "Man, like maybe this is the year for you to kind of step out and venture more out into that, that field, and get your feet wet more with that." Yeah. And so I had only done one thing. I've done a lot of voiceover work.
Yeah, you were Transylvania, Hotel Transylvania, Boondocks, American Dad. I was on American Dad also.
Really?
They killed me off. I was killed off in like 2 minutes.
That's funny, man.
I was an alien hunter.
Oh wow. So I've done that Boondock. Yeah, you said Boondocks.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So no, just to answer your question, of course I would, man. I don't know what I would do,
right?
I'm sure they'll figure out something for me.
You mentioned a lot about your wife and how she's been very influential. You went to Japan and Kanye was supposed to meet you in Japan and he didn't show up and you like get frustrated and she's like, look, take advantage. You got your son. You guys have never really traveled abroad. Enjoy the culture. Enjoy your time there. There are other situations. Kanye called you at the very last minute to say, son, do that. Babe, go do that. This is your second marriage. Mm-hmm. What did you learn from your first marriage that you were able to take in this marriage and says, okay, this is how I'm going to make this one successful?
Patience. Patience and pace. You know what I mean? What do they say? Pace wins the race?
Yeah.
Just rock steady. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We've got time. We've got time to grow, mature, become the best versions of ourselves because of each other.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely about being as whole as you could possibly be coming into a situation. And we both had been divorced before, and it was really no rush, no pressure. I'm saying, and also the caveat of friendship.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to be able to talk and have some real talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You also have to, that would basically represent the church and state, inside of your internal affairs. You say your relationship with that person. You got to be friends. So, I mean, I firmly believe that you almost got to like somebody more than you love them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think the thing is, and I've never been married, but I do know this. Getting together is easy. You got to work to stay together.
For sure.
And you don't have to work to get together. That's the easy part. Because everybody sends their representation of themselves. Oh, he's so fun. Oh, she's so lovely. Oh, she likes this. She likes that. But once you dig down and you find out who each person is, now I got to work to stay with you. Because we have access to so much. It's easy to say just F it now.
Yeah.
Our parents and grandparents, man, they stuck that thing out.
Yes, they did.
They
did.
Like, you stayed? Why you stay with for this? Now,
we out.
you come home, what? Like you say, you see what you said with that situation with Chris Brown. Oh, yeah, divorce rate when she got there, that'd have been outside.
Definitely divorce on that one. Definitely. I couldn't handle that one.
But the thing is that even though you got divorced, and I think your first wife had kids, and you still take care of them, you still are a very integral part in their lives.
Yeah. Well, they were the family that I needed. I had just lost my mom.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And, I felt as if they were a divine intervention. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that. And also, I'm a family man. You know, I had included them, in all that I was doing through that time. So my wife was in all of the first videos.
Yeah.
The kids in the videos.
Yeah.
It's so we just doing it together, like the Partridge Family. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll probably throw some old references out there just to let you know how long we've been around. You'll be like, I don't even know nothing about the Partridge Family.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. They
drive around in that bus.
Yeah. All of that stuff was cool to me as a kid. So, no, man. And, no. So, no, man, it's the easy part is to just be loving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your outfits. A lot of people say, man, your outfits, bro, you looking demonic in them outfits, man. Come on, what you got going on? And hear you how insightful you are and see how you're firmly rooted, you're not in somebody's face with your religion, but you're a man of faith.
Absolutely.
And so, and I think people appreciate that. But when you hear people talk about you, bro, it's just an outfit. It ain't that deep.
It is, man. It's like, I wish there was just more inclusion. I wish our culture really looked upon other expressions and art forms.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and could be able to identify or adopt some of the other, you know what I mean? Like the things that are done more naturally, more normally. You know what I mean? Like, cause I do. You know what I mean? Like, I like rock music.
Yes.
I like glam. I like pageantry.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I see myself as an alternative artist, as a renaissance. You know what I mean? Like, I don't just rap the same shit over and over again. I just don't do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's enough people doing it. You know what I mean? Like, and it's almost like, if you want me to be the same, you would only be creating your own competition.
Right.
Because then, what if I want what you want as much as you want, and then I want it more than you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
And then I go get it, then you gonna feel some type of way about me.
so go and let me do something else. Just be glad I ain't in your way, and I ain't eating your food. You feel me?
Yes. Your lady, she has a woman gun club.
Yeah. The lady killers.
Yeah, that's what they call?
Yeah.
Let me find out. You got a drum? You got a drum on up on?
Yes, sir.
Damn! You got a drum? Oh, you on it about? Hey, I don't say that now. You know.
So.
Might have what your granny used to tell your butt up with a switch on that thing too.
Okay. Straight up. Ooh.
She's smiling over there in the cut.
Spank that baby.
Why do you think it was so important for her to establish a gun club, teach women how to handle guns, how to clean a gun, how to fire a firearm properly?
It is a skill and trade that she acquired over time. You know, we were talking about it because we actually live out in the woods. So we live on a ranch. My son is also a range officer too.
Okay.
You know, so we are arms enthusiasts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and that's our lifestyle beyond industry. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we're naturalists, National Rifle.
You hunt? Y'all hunt?
I ain't killed none yet.
But time, huh?
But we've been talking about doing that. That was going to be something that me and my son went to do.
Okay.
Because, you know, I believe, you know, in sport to some degree, but I don't believe in really preying on the weak. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, nah, somebody got to really deserve, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of that business from me. That little deer, he ain't did nothing to me, man. Okay? Like, so, but no, just to be serious about that, like, I think that it's essential. I think it's imperative for women to be educated, like in arms and self-defense.
Yep.
I said this is a campaign that you could get behind, you know what I mean, and empower others. Right. You know what I'm saying, like with information and ability. Right. You know, learn, trained, you know, acquired knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So she's one of those people that once she commits herself to, you know, to a cause, you know, she's committed to, I mean, like, to the finish. Yeah. And that's one of her strongest traits and qualities. I can really appreciate that about her. And my son, too. They're both are very committed people.
Right. You know, the Super Bowl coming to the A. We saw the situation in Atlanta. You saw Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Fib, M, Mary J. It was great. That doesn't mean that automatically because we just saw the Super Bowl in New Orleans and No Limit or Master P's, Cash Money, none of those guys performed. But what would that mean if, you know, Hove reached out and wanted to get the Dungeon family or get you guys up there to do something? Because you've been in the Super Bowl. You performed with Madonna. What was that? Because I think people don't understand. What is that experience like to be up there and know you got 100+ million people watching you?
A lot of the times I answer these questions very humbly, you know, and nonchalantly because I'm just like, I've been such a fan of these people. Yes. You know what I mean? And I've had the pleasure of being acknowledged by so many great individuals, iconic individuals. So for Miss Madonna to ask me to be a part of her 6-minute set for the Super Bowl halftime it's amazing. You know what I mean? It's an amazing opportunity. And I'm there to be a student. You know what I'm saying? Because I also believe that the secret to success is just remaining teachable. Right. So I'm gonna go through there humbly and do my part. Right. But to answer the question, I will be down to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like in a minute. Now we can get Andre 3000 out the house to do it. That's another question.
He don't do much not do it.
he don't do it. He won't do it at all. You know what I mean? Like, but he's reserves the right to do whatever he feels like.
Yes.
I mean, like, and that we all respect. You know, I most certainly respect it. You know what I mean?
Because he said, like, bro, I'm in my 50s, or late 40s, and early 50s. What I'm rapping about? I don't got nothing in common with what y'all talking about. That ain't my life no more.
Yeah, I heard him. But so, again, when I told you, I'm always in a dilemma of like, is something a troll?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are you gonna set us up and you just gonna bust out with a full rap album at some point?
Yeah.
Give me 3 more years, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like, but I think he's curated, you know, a cult following around just him. You know what I mean? Like, not even to mention the OutKast,
Right?
The OutKast included, right? Of where, if and when he decides to do something, anything, people will line up for it.
For sure.
They'll be. I mean, like, and to be able to do that, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you could teach classes on that. You know what I mean? Of that kind of staying power. Right. You know, and discipline. So yeah.
Nelly said the 2000s was the toughest era of hip hop because he mentioned himself and Luda and Hove and DMX and all those guys. Do you believe that was the toughest era of hip hop?
It was definitely competitive, and I know how he meant that. But I think they were the major leagues. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like, you know, Goodie Mob and what we were doing was like the Negro leagues. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so our concern, our mantra was different. You know what I'm saying? Like, we weren't even, we knew, I felt like we were incomparable throughout that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we weren't going for a competitiveness. We were going for a coexistence. Right. Because we just wanted to be counted as the South. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
So that was it.
We heard a lot of people over the last, I'm going to get you out of here shortly, a couple of more minutes. Yeah. Your catalog. You sell your catalog? Because we see a lot of people selling their catalog. Some people's like, nah, that's what, I'm going to pass that down to the kids. Where are you on selling your catalog?
I still have it. You have to pass down the information on how to protect, you know, and bring worth. You just bring awareness and bring worth. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that sometimes it can work to your disadvantage because, you know, the industry is racketed, if you know what I mean, if for lack of a better word. I mean, like, so you're gonna hold it for when and for who? You know what I mean? Like, because if they want to ostracize your publishing completely, I mean,
ain't nothing you can do about it.
I'm gonna assume that they could.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, and you sitting on something that's really not that valuable.
Everything has to, listen, the difference between something old and something antique is the appreciation. If you appreciate something, it will appreciate in value. Right. So you got to work it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference between product and product placement. Right. You could just have some product, you own 100% of nothing. But you got to put that product where people can see it, where it's accessible to them and want to pay a premium for it. Right. I mean, like, so those are brand synergies that you do with licensing and syncs and things of that nature. And there are companies that specify, you know what I mean? Like, that is their expertise. Right. That's their lane. So I believe in partnership, you know what I mean? Like, because most people, most independents, their concern is more or less splitting the reward. Right. Never as concerned about splitting the risk. Right. Yes. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do.
So I believe in having those partners that, you know, would protect the whole pie for the sake of their piece. You know what I mean? Like, the piece that they own may be an incentive, may be the incentive of the end all be all.
To keep the value for the entirety.
But you got to protect the whole thing. Right. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you call insurance.
You have a new album, Gnarls Barkley album out called Atlanta.
Yes.
What can we expect from this album? What does this album entail?
Well, it was the third and final album. I didn't even really know if we would make it to 3. And it's been 18 years since our last release. Wow. It's our last final album. So it was really bittersweet. Maybe he doesn't want me to say because Danger Mouse is much more demure and discreet and private than I am. But I really want to celebrate his life right now because he's having quite a moment in his personal life, just being married for the first time, having a child for the first time. And so that's where his focus is. And quite honestly, he's not a traveling musician. He's a producer. Once he produces, his job is done.
Right.
So the meteoric success of Gnarls Barkley's first debut album, it took us all over the world for like 10 years straight.
Wow.
And quite frankly, he didn't want to do it again.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm a road dog. You know what I'm saying? All I do is travel.
You like travel, huh?
I enjoy to do it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to keep going. And we also wanted to pay a homage to the city of Atlanta, because people don't realize this, but Brian Burton, Danger Mouse, he's born and raised in Atlanta too.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And we wanted Atlanta to finally feel included and be able to claim Gnarls Barkley as its own.
Right.
This particular venture was born here too.
Right. You returned to The Boys for a few episodes. What was it like going back?
Now, that's when I get a chance to get everything that I enjoy all in one.
Yeah.
I get a chance to be fabulous, so like I can wear my cool little outfits and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I get a chance to talk and mentor about music, and be, instrumental in the aiding and abetting of some young talent that's got potential. Ooh, try this, do this. So I like that feeling too.
Yes.
I like being an OG. And yeah, so it's great, consistent work to be. That's where I belong, man. On network television,
Right.
man. Get money, man. You know what I'm saying?
When Snoop Dogg, do you give Snoop Dogg any advice about how to handle that situation? Because he's on there now.
Snoop, when you were just mentioning 50 Cent earlier, I love to hear 50 talk. He's one of the most eloquent, profound young cats doing his thing.
Right.
I love to hear what he has to say. Snoop is another one of those people. I remember when Snoop first started, he was very shy.
Yeah.
Man, but he's grown into quite
big personality.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's doing something. I mean, the mere fact that he's doing something with Martha Stewart, who would have picked those two? That duo.
So a lot of people liken his career to mine because he's been able to be in all of these really unique spaces where nobody else is allowed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and I've been a chance to kind of like be welcomed in those rooms too.
Yeah.
So Snoop is one of my favorites. But I don't got no advice for him. He's done great. He's done real great.
CeeLo, thanks for stopping by, bro.
For sure.
CeeLo Green. Be sure to come to the hottest restaurant in Atlanta for some of the best Asian fusion food you'll have. Thank you again, Low Key, for hosting us for this episode of Club Shay Shay.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life.